We're live on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. So now you are in with today's stream. Okay, so let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. Okay, so you want to make a lot of money. You want to be successful. Okay, and that can mean different things. Maybe you've never hit. Maybe you want to hit $10,000 in revenue because you never hit that yet. Maybe you want to do 20,000, 100,000, 500,000, a million, 2.5, 5, 10, 20, whatever it is that your goals are. Okay, but I want to talk about this idea of humility in business and why a lot of people are not where they should be. Again, I know I'm chilling in my office. Okay, so if you're used to seeing me glammed up, the girl's in hustle mode today. Okay, I'm in my hustle hoodie. Okay, so I'm working from the home today. So what we're talking about, and hello to everyone who's tuning in. What we're talking about today is how to actually go hard in your business. A lot of people, like I said before, we don't have a problem if you are promoting. Again, like we don't have a problem with Chick-fil-A, Nike, Under Armour, Amazon, okay? We don't have a problem, with them promoting. We have a problem with them coming into our email, sending us magazines, promoting on billboards. We don't have a problem. But for some reason, when it comes to our business, we have this huge issue. A lot of people have potential to make money today, but you put yourself on the back burner every time. You don't actually make a conscious decision to put yourself out there, okay? And so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to reshape and help you to renew your mind, okay, on how to stack this money. I believe I'm all about assets. I'm all about wealth. I'm all about building something that's actually a whole base business, okay? Which means that the first thing you need to learn is how to actually get it. A lot of times, and I see this on social media, I was talking to my coaching client last night, as I was saying, and one of the things I told her was that everybody, it finds it easy to post on social media, right? Oh, I have this product. And to be honest, though, many of you, again, I don't mean to step on toes. I love you. But you post, but you make no money. So you post about stuff all day. Some of you post and you get like all these likes. People are loving, but they're not buying. They're not wanting. You post all day and night, post all day and night, post all day and night, and you're not getting sales how you should be. And I'm going to tell you something that you may already know, but you need to relearn. Okay? People are bandwagoners. They are bandwagoners. Yes, they are. And it's actually not a bad thing. I think that if you learn how to capitalize on human nature, then you'll never be broke another day in your life. Okay, you have to learn. It's funny how many of you have sociology degrees, psychology degrees, and yet you're not connecting the two. So you have to learn that you have to know people's behavior. People are natural bandwagoners. They naturally will jump on something exciting. Okay, but a post is not enough to just be exciting. Okay, and that's the reason why some people they think social media is just like, oh, if I just post it, they'll come. That's not how business works. It's not if you post it, they'll come. It is if you are actually bringing excitement to them, they will come. People jump on things that are exciting, but a post, just a text, okay, it's not enough. You have to learn, it's so important. You have to learn that your business is amazing. It is phenomenal. It is the best thing since sliced bread, literally. And if you don't see your business that way, then you will never have the wealth in your business that you actually deserve, okay? Because here's the main reason. I am right now in a hoodie that says, I don't know what this says, the city that never sleeps. Okay, I don't have a makeup on. I'm not glammed up today, not at all. Okay, but I promise you that you are going to feed off of my energy in this video. You're going to feed off of my energy because I have this thing I can't really describe. It's like kind of contagious, fiery thing that I have, and I am excited. And for a lot of you, you never show your excitement. You think that, oh, they're going to be excited if I just show them a picture, if I use if I use exclamation points, or no. People have to feel your excitement. And the thing about it is that we do lives and you look half tired, you look half dead. Okay. Hey guys, how are you doing? Welcome to the broadcast. Welcome. Oh, come on. Hey girl, how you doing? Hey bro. Hey man. Yeah, come on. What is that? I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be excited and you look tired. What? You have to be excited when people say, oh, you own this business. Oh yeah, this is my business. It's funny. And I'm going to help you get yourself all the way together. Okay. All the way together. Okay. One of the reasons why I've never been a person that's short of words, as you can probably tell, I'm a pretty gregarious person. I love to talk, but it's because I used to spend hours, and I still do, hours in the mirror. I talk to myself every day. You may think I'm weird. I don't frankly care. It has helped me to gain all the coins that I could ever desire. Okay. I am someone who has talked in the mirror countless times so that I have always been able to flow. I've never been the person like, yeah, well, yeah, well, or let's just do the other thing. Someone asks you, what do you do? And you take 30 minutes telling them something that really should have only been one sentence. Why? Because you're not used to flowing in confidence. When you're confident, you have to learn how to flow in your language. You have to learn how to convey confidence. And the thing is, confidence is knowing. Okay. So in business, confidence is knowing. It's not guessing. It's not taking a long time, okay, to convey something, but you have to learn how to easily communicate your feelings. Okay. You learn how to easily communicate what you do, because here's the thing. A lot of us, we could sell out faster. We could do a lot more if we just were more confident. Okay. We're more confident. Let's start with the first thing. Why does it take you forever to tell someone what you do? Or why do you continue to beat around the bush? That's a big thing in sales. With my coaching clients, a lot of times, like my coaching client last night, I will spend time with my coaching clients to practice sales. So I'll literally have them go over and over and over again, understanding sales, right? So I'll say, okay, let's start from the top. Sell to me your program, or sell to me, your intro. Or last night with my client, I actually had her practice her intro for her Facebook Lives, because I wanted her to make sure that she was adding sales approaches with her products, okay? So that she was confident in selling, in promoting herself, right? Now, one thing I've learned was that she actually felt ashamed to go hard in her sales approach. Now, this is where I may step on some toes. I'm a little bit of a hefty girl, so hey, I do it naturally. But so many people are ashamed. This is crazy. You will go out and hustle, right? You will work all day and night long. But then when it comes time to vocalize your success or to vocalize what you do, it's like there's a disconnect. Like there's a huge disconnect. Never be ashamed to talk about your work. Never be ashamed to promote yourself. A lot of you feel ashamed to fill up your timeline with promoting yourselves. I find it crazy. Oh, I don't want to send out too many emails because I don't want people to feel like I'm overwhelming their inbox. Okay. Amazon doesn't frankly care about my inbox. They're like, listen, we know you want these products. You need us. We're going to send you these emails. Okay. They're not out here really caring about my personal feelings towards how many emails. Okay. Now I do believe one a day is a limit. That's the max you can send a day. But that right there is an issue for so many people. I don't want to overwhelm people's inboxes. Okay. So I'm not going to send a whole bunch of emails. Matter of fact, I'm only going to send one a week. And you wonder why you're at the bottom of the pile. People don't even recognize you because everyone else is coming in their inbox every day. You only come in once a week. Okay. And then you wonder why you broke. Okay. Or you may not be broke, but you could be making more, right? There's also that talk too. Well, I don't need to do what Jesus is saying because I'm not broke. Yeah, but you could have more. Okay. Let's go to another reason of self-esteem that affects business owners in sales approaches. Oh, well, I don't want to fill up my timeline on social media promoting my business too much. I don't want to overwhelm people. Well, if your bank account is underwhelmed, I think you should overwhelm. That's just my personal approach. I don't know. Let's just try it. Let's just try it. But remember, it's not just in posting. Okay. Another thing too is that when you walk into a room and you go to a networking event. Oh my gosh, I hate this. People say, oh, well, I'm just going to kind of stand back. I'm just going to kind of like fade back a little bit, just kind of let everyone else kind of do their thing. I'm going to fade back. That's false humility. People really do. This false humility thing has to stop. I don't want to, I don't kind of want to be a show it all, kind of, I don't want to like, just kind of, I don't want my personality to overwhelm people. So I'm going to kind of just take a back seat at this event and I'm going to, just kind of, fade in the background. Okay. So your bank account is fading in the background as well. Okay. So you have this false humility thing. Like somehow you fading in the background is going to help your fading in the background bank account. Again, you don't have to listen to me. You can continue doing what you already do. I just have one major question. That's all. Listen, you don't have to listen to me. Don't have to. But I do have a question. And if you would let me ask you, let me ask you the question. Okay, let me ask you the question. Is what you're doing maximizing your gifts and talents? And is it maximizing your bank account? Okay, So if you from your own personal knowledge and talents, if you feel like you're not hitting your goals where how they should be, I think you should listen to me. I just personally think you should. Personally, again, you don't have to take my advice. Don't take my advice, but I just personally think you should listen. Just that's all. Okay. So fading this false humility of fading in the background, it does not work. It does not work. Now, I do believe that there are moments when it's necessary to not talk, and there's necessary to kind of be, to be the listener, right? It's important to listen. But if I know I'm going to a networking event, that fading in the background is not the purpose of a networking event. First of all, the purpose is to network. So you're over here leaning across the wall talking about, oh yeah, I'm just kind of the fader in the background. I don't, I'm not really here for the connection, but kind of here for the environment. Okay, false humility. That's false humility. If I go to a networking event and I'm fading in the background, you're wasting your time. You might as well go back home. Okay, because the purpose is to network. The purpose is to connect yourself to people. But again, here's the other thing. When you get in the room with other people, somehow it takes you, this is the next thing we're going to talk about. It takes you 30 minutes to explain something that only takes one sentence. So now let's talk about the people who you talk too much. Okay, you talk too much to communicate. Confidence actually includes clarity. You're not confident if you're not clear. That's something you need to learn. You're not confident if you're not clear. And you have to learn how to give people what they really want. This is the number one thing I've learned in sales. Give the people what they want. Don't give them what you think. Give them what they want, okay? And you have to learn, okay? No one cares about, your 30 years, that, you take people ask you, what do you do? And then you give them a whole 30-minute thesis. Oh, well, it first started when I was a child crawling out the crib. Okay, first of all, they just want to buy the lotion. Okay, they don't really care about your bassinet, and they don't really care about how you grew up and you scratch your knee, and then that's when you figured out, oh my God, I need to make some lotion. Okay, I don't know. Okay, I don't know, but no one really cares about. Okay, they can go read that on your website. Okay, but stop giving people. Okay, and here's the thing about pride. Sometimes pride will cause you to over talk when you need to just shut up. Okay, no one cares about the 30 name drops. Okay, maybe you name drop one or two, but at this point, can you answer the question? Can you answer their question? So if I asked you, what do? You should be able to give it in one sentence. A lot of you guys know I'm really big on the one sentence thing. We start with the one sentence pitch, and then we go into details based upon people's questions. Don't talk people's heads off. You don't want to be known as that person. That man, don't ask her any questions. Don't ask him any questions. If you ask him a question, they'll never give you the answer. They're just going to keep on talking about how when they woke up as a child, they already started preaching at 5 years old. Okay, but no, answer the question. Okay, so easily communicate. Now, here's the other thing I want to talk about, and this is kind of a mix of sales, confidence, humility, all this other kind of stuff. Okay, we're going to kind of mix it all together so that you can be more confident in your sales approach, so you can make more money. Okay, when you talk about what you do, stop being generic. Okay, stop being generic. Okay, if I asked you what is Fruit Loops and you said it's a cereal, okay, and let's say I had a choice between Fruit Loops and cornflakes, and I asked you what's cornflakes, and you said it's a cereal. Well, that does not really help me to make a choice now, does it? Because you've just told me that I'm just looking at two cereals. I don't really have a bias now towards one or the other. In sales, here is something you have to, this is crazy. You got to be Jim Jones. Now, I know that may not be the most endearing thing to be, but you got to have and drink the Kool-Aid. Now, the thing about your Kool-Aid is that it's good Kool-Aid. It won't kill anybody. It's not poisonous. But you've got to be, I actually taught on this. I taught on a series, a teaching I once did where I was in a boa here on Facebook Live, and I look kind of crazy, but that was my point. The people who sell the most, okay, they're the most convicted about what it is that they sell. You can't talk them out of what they sell. You cannot run a circle around what they sell. You've got to be like Jim Jones with the Kool-Aid. Drink the Kool-Aid. But for real though, some of you are not convicted. And listen, until you're convicted, until you're convicted like Jim Jones, listen, you're not convicted. Okay, until you're convicted where you actually took some Kool-Aid mix. Listen, you're not convicted. So when you sell, you have to sell with a bias. Some of you are so, I don't want to force people to like my product. I want to give them, this is another thing that people say that again is false humility. Here we go. Especially people who are Christians. I'm a Christian. I'm a PK. Listen, I know all about church. Listen, I love the church. Okay. But I'm just saying, we say stuff like, Well, I really want to give room to other people too, because, I know I'm not the only one with gifts and talents. And so, I just want to make sure that I give room for other people, because I'm humble. Or maybe you say humble. Like the H is silent. I never knew the H was silent. Okay. Humble, so I just don't want to step on other people's toes. So, you want me to speak? Oh no, let them speak. No, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. Let them speak. Yeah, I'm humble. Let them go first. I'm humble. Okay. Okay, smoking. Okay. They want to invite you on a panel. Oh no, let them speak. I'm good. Oh no, I'm good. I'm good. Oh no, I'm humble. I'm humble. I don't want them to go. Oh, you want me to be the main? Oh no, why don't you give somebody else? Because the Lord has already blessed me. Now, first of all, your bank account, you need that blessing, okay? But here you go. Oh no, I don't need it. Let somebody else get the blessing. Let somebody else get the blessing. Oh, no. Okay, every single time you do that, you know what your bank account is saying too? Oh, I don't need the money. No. I don't need the money. Let somebody else. This is actually what you may not think it. Okay, this is actually what you're saying. Oh, I don't need the money for my light bill. Okay, I can sleep in the dark. Just let somebody else get it. Oh, you want me to speak at the? Oh, you know what? I don't need that. Yep, you know what? I don't need it. My car doesn't need any gas in the tank. You know what? I'm gonna put some air in it and see how far it goes. Okay, that's exactly how you sound with this false humility. Okay. So we have to be people that aren't hesitant, okay, to have that conviction. We got to be like Jim Jones, okay? So I'm not going to sit around and say, oh, that's okay. Oh, I'm good. No, I'm not. No. Listen, you want me to get the mic? Yo, give me the mic. Hello, my name is Genesis Dorsey. Yes, I'm so grateful to be here, okay? And thing is, when you talk, you don't talk like, hi, my name is Genesis Dorsey. I'm just so grateful to be here. That's the other thing about false humility. We think that we have to have a church mouse voice, because otherwise, if we get too loud, we're just too loud. Okay, now, hello, my name is Genesis Dorsey. I'm so glad to be here. Okay, I want you to hear me from the front of the room to the back room. Okay, even if I didn't have a mic, wouldn't even need the mic. Throw the mic away. Hello, you've got to be confident. Okay, you have to be confident. So when you're on social media, when you're on live, when you're meeting people, okay, show up. God did not make you to hide underneath a bushel, okay, to be hidden. Show up. When people ask you what you do, show up. Now, don't talk their head off. Get straight to the point. And if they want to learn more, go from there. But this is what we want to talk about. We're talking about generic, okay? It's going to help you yourselves. You've got to be specific. Like I said before with the cereals. If someone asked me if I was looking at Corn Flakes or Fruit Loops and you only told me that they were a cereal, remember, that's not going to create a bias. You must create a bias. I know that may not seem like the most Christian thing to do. You're saying that I should say that my book is better than so-and-so's book. I didn't say it's better, but you better pitch it. Okay, you better pitch that thing. Okay, this is what y'all say. This is what Christians say. Oh my God, that's what Christians say. Oh, this is just a book. I want to talk about why so many Christian entrepreneurs are not selling. Okay, this is what they say. Oh, this is just a book I wrote while I was in my prayer time. This is just a book. Okay, well, guess what? I don't want your just a book, because someone else out here across the street is going to say, this is the best book I've ever written. I'm telling you, this book is going to change your life. Okay, versus another person says, oh, this is just a book I just wrote in prayer time, where the Lord was speaking to me. Your hands go, the Lord was speaking to me. This is just a book I wrote. This thing is, I know how people are because of how they talk about things. Like, for instance, I'll compliment a woman on her dress, and she'll say, oh, this is just this old thing. Oh, that actually shows me people's level of self-esteem. Is that when people compliment you, how you respond to someone trying to speak you up. If you talk yourself down at any point in time, it shows you that you have some self-esteem issues to work on. Like if I compliment you on your outfit and you say, oh, this old thing, I got this thing 5 years ago. Oh, God. Okay. Let's go back. Obviously, we got to work on some stuff. Okay. If someone asks you, oh, I like your outfit, you don't say this old thing. You don't say, I just got this from Walmart. No. You know what you need to say? Oh, thank you. I love it too. And then keep on walking. It's not false humility. It's like this idea of humility, and especially in church, has gotten so twisted. And then we wonder why you can't put any gas in your tank because you're broke. Because you don't believe. You're not convicted. You're not Jim Jones with the Kool-Aid. You have not created a bias for customers. When you talk about your products, y'all, okay, we're gonna go. This is a sales, almost like a sales training, but we're gonna talk about this. I am promoting. Let's say this. I'm selling this iPad. Okay, I'm selling this iPad now. I'm not really selling the iPad. It's mine. You cannot have it. But we're gonna use it as an example. I'm selling this iPad. I'm not going to say, this is just, a little tablet device that you can use. Yeah, it's really great. It has a lot of great features. Yeah, I really like it. Yeah, it's really great. Do you want to buy it? Do you want it? You want it? Oh my gosh. I might as well drink sour milk. I mean, because compared to the way you sell, I think I should just drink sour milk. Now, my stomach may not feel great after 2 days, but it may be a better thing. So what's the first thing I must do? The first thing you do whenever you sell a product, right, is you must first believe in the product. Now, a lot of people have written books, but do you know they don't believe in their books? You know why? Because how come you never talk about it? Oh, you believe in your products? You believe in your services? Well, you don't really show it. Oh, you have all those gifts and abilities? Well, I never knew. People say, oh, well, yeah, I do this, I do that. Well, how come I never heard about it? Oh, well, I don't want to, seem overbearing. Okay. So basically what you're saying is you want to be broke. Okay. Then just go over yonder. Okay. So you have to believe first in what you've made. A lot of people, this is crazy. We have the discipline to make, but we don't have the confidence to sell. Which means that there is a blocking in your belief system. Okay, this is the reason why many people can create but are broke, because we actually will discipline ourselves to work all day and night on a project, on a service, on whatever it may be. But to sell and put ourselves out there is actually a whole different game. And it actually is not supposed to be a different game, but we make it a different game because of our belief system. If you don't believe in what you make, then just stop making stuff. Okay, because you'll be a hoarder, and many people are a hoarder of their own creations. If I am to make something, it needs to get out of here. In other words, it needs to sell. If I'm not making something and I'm just hoarding it up, then you're not really a producer. Okay, you're not really a producer. A producer is not just a maker. Okay, this is really big. If I run a business, because again, we're talking about this from a business aspect. If I can produce but can never sell, I'm actually not being productive. Because productivity is where, as I'm making, it's going out. Okay, so if you're someone who has had the time to create the logo, you set up the LLC or the nonprofit, okay, you did all this work, okay, and now you've gone silent, you stop believing in yourself. And I don't care what you tell me. You can say, well, Genesis, you know what? Things got busy. That's an excuse. Oh, well, I just had 2 more kids. That's an excuse. That's an excuse. You have now become a creation hoarder. Okay, so you're not productive, and I'm not here to attack you. I'm telling you, get off of your hiney, get the thing off the back burner, get the books out of the attic, dust the stuff off, and get back on it. Because otherwise, you are a hoarder, and we are not here to hoard anything. Okay, we don't. The Bible says to put your treasures up in heaven. Okay, it doesn't say put your treasures up here underneath the bookshelves. Okay, you've got to get that stuff out. And if you believed yourself, if you were able to tell people, oh, God gave me the book, so God gave you the book just for you. I didn't know that God gives you books for yourself. Now that's a first. Now I've heard about prophecies. And I've heard about, words of knowledge, and different things, personal dreams and stuff. I didn't know God was writing books for just one person. Now, if that is how he's changing the whole strategy, let me know. Because then all these books I just ordered for my new book, I'll put those things back away. But I'm pretty sure books are meant for masses. Okay, not just for the people at your church, but they're meant for the masses. Okay, not just for the people in your family, they're meant for the masses. So if you don't have that kind of conviction, you won't be able to sell. So let's get back to this. I must create a bias. Business has bias. The other thing about humility that I would like to talk about is this whole Christian thing about how there's no competition in Christ. This is an elephant in the room that we will address today. Now, I know for some of you are not religious. I have a lot of Buddhist friends, atheist friends, so if you're not a religious person, this will still apply to you. Okay, this will still apply for you. Okay. I must believe that outside of all of the tablets in the world, that this tablet is the best. Okay. Now, I am not saying that the other tablets are not gifted and amazing. But why would I make something that I don't believe in? Okay, I must believe that this is your solution, that this is the answer to a problem in your life. If I don't sell like that, I will always sell as an option. Okay, listen, you must create bias in your business. The best salespeople are the best people at creating a bias, because what they do is they put it in your head that if you don't do it this way, you are wrong. Now, you don't attack people like they're wrong, but you created such a conviction in people's hearts that they believe that out of all the choices they could pick, that you are the best option, that your services, your products is the best option for where they are in their lives. And if it isn't communicated as such, you will always be wondering where people have gone. Because why? You made it an option. You never made it a destination. You've made it an option. So when we sell, how do we sell? We must sell with a bias. I pray you're taking notes, okay? So maybe, especially if you are in MLMs or you have direct teams, or maybe, you have a team maybe for your business, take some notes so that you can train them and help them to sell better, to sell you better, to sell the products better, to sell the services better. You must create a bias. You must create a bias. There must be a bias created, okay? So that people don't feel as if there is an option. They feel like this is it. Okay, this man, I'm telling you, and they may not even immediately buy, but they've already made up in their head that if they are going to buy, it's going to be you. That's big, okay? So how do we create a bias? That's a great question, Genesis. Oh, thank you. Thank you for asking. Okay, how do we create a bias? You create a bias by the way that you pitch the product. So we're about to break down how you pitch a product or how you pitch a service, okay? A lot of you have all these different gifts and talents. And you also have to figure out, you have to pitch with organization, though. You can't just pitch 5 different things at one time. You have to have some organization. But remember, in everything that you do, let's pitch it correctly. So let's talk about a pitch. Let's talk about pitching a product or a service. It may not be something physical. You may have a service that you provide for people. Okay, so it may not actually be a physical product. Okay, so how do we pitch it? Remember, I have to create a bias. How do I create a bias? I have to figure out what I'm trying to make this easy for you guys to remember. What does my product or service do that separates it from the crowd? And this is why you have to know your competition. Okay? People are shopping around for everything. They are always comparing. This is why in the church, when it comes to business, and there are a lot of Christian entrepreneurs, coaches and consultants, they teach things that are not really true. I don't know why they do it. I'm praying for them. But when we say things like, now I do believe that there is, let me tell you what I do believe. I believe that when God gives you a business, if he's actually given it to you, that's the key word. Oh my God. If he's actually given it to you, he will always protect it. Okay. But it is up to you to show forth your works, right? The Bible says the faith without works is dead. Okay. So it is up to you to show forth works. I do believe that God will protect your business. Okay. He will cover your business. However, like I've said before many times, if I own a McDonald's and a Burger King opens across the street and we are both Christians, we're both Christians, but we open up. Oh, let me do something a little bit more small business like. I have a cake shop. Someone else across the street who's also a Christian opens up a cake shop. And the first thing out of my mouth I say is that, there's no competition. You are an idiot. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. And I love you so much. But that's stupid. For me to actually think that somehow people are going to say, there are 2 cake shops. Which one should I go to? Do you think people are praying to figure out what cake shop to go to? Do you think people are going to say, I want to just pray about what cake shop to go into, and that's how they'll know? That's not how this works. If you're a Christian and someone else is a Christian and you both own a cake shop across the street, I am not going to sit here and ask that God would reveal all of my clients and then I'm going to draw them into my business. No. If I see the signage across the shop at the other cake street and it looks wonderful and mine looks shoddy and looks horrible, and I'm going to say, doesn't matter because, God's going to bring in the clientele. You are an idiot. I love you, but you're going to have to go to Oz and get a break. Okay. I really do. I love you so much, but I need you to think with me. I need you to think clearly. If I live across the street and there's McDonald's, and I own the Burger King, you don't think I may want to make sure that we're doing an awesome job, that somehow we're going to outbeat our competition? I think we should think about that, because a regular person is not going to be praying in tongues or praying to figure out what cake they want. They're going to go into each cake shop. They're going to figure out what they like about each cake shop. They will develop a bias. It is up to you to control the bias. You have to create the bias, control the bias. That's why branding is so important. Branding helps you to create bias. It helps you to create an experience that will separate you from the competition. Okay. That's why branding is it. That's why people who do MLM marketing, a lot of people do MLM, direct sales, pyramid, I'm not gonna say it's pyramid scheme, but pyramid-based business, things where it's kind of like it's a trickle-down effect. That's why branding is essential. You actually cannot grow a MLM business or a direct sales business and not brand. If you don't brand, you'll actually fail, because people, they attract themselves to a brand. They actually don't, and a lot of times, especially in direct sales, people don't care about, the main brand. They like you. That's why people have to brand themselves, develop themselves, kind of create this whole community, right? Why? Because people are attracted to a brand, and you have to separate yourself. This is why people in direct sales, I love all you guys in direct sales. I really do. But you need to think about something very quickly. Okay. For instance, in direct sales, 100 people sell Mary Kay. Not 100, 1,000, tons of people sell ISOT. Tons of people sell, health products. Tons of people sell, grocery direct things and all these kind of things, right? And so you wonder why. I want you to get this. I want you to get this. In a market that's saturated, where everybody is selling tea, okay, or just think they may be all in the same company, right? Like, for instance, I may get 5, and this is where, again, I'm trying to help some of y'all making more money. I will get, let's say, 10 messages at least a week from the same direct sales people from the same types of companies. Like, I'll get 5 people from Paparazzi. Okay. I'll get a couple more people from my ISOT a week. I'll get, a couple more people. And what's funny is that none of them are branding themselves. So I keep on getting, this is really big. This is really huge. It's hard for me to choose because they all sell the same thing. Now, here's the problem. They may be all selling the same thing, but if you don't create a bias, why would I choose you? Uh-oh. Is it in the fact that, for instance, girl, buy this tea, I'm gonna give you $10 coupon off. Oh, girl, get this, girl, get this waist trainer. I'm gonna give you $5 off. Oh, girl, you want to lose, do you want to lose weight? I'm gonna give you a $10 coupon off. Okay. None of y'all have branded yourself. So all I'm hearing is T. Waist trainer. No one has said, hey, girl, I'm a part of this awesome club called blah, 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 blah. And we are a club that's dedicated doing da-da-da-da-da-da. And you haven't, and now I'm hearing a brand. Oh, wow. Well, you sound different than all the 100 people who are selling me the same thing from the same company. Because technically, especially if you're trying to build a pipeline, especially trying to build a team, people can join any person's team. This is what you have to really realize. Would you rather them come under your team or someone else's team? And to see, if you don't create a bias, they will one day say, you know what? I remember so-and-so telling me that I can make money, selling these products, right? So-and-so tell me I can make money selling these products. But guess what? They're not going to choose you because you didn't create a bias. You know what they're going to do? Now, you did all this work, telling them about the business, telling them how they can join a great company, right? They're not going to join your team. You know what they're going to do? They're going to join the last person they remember, whoever made a memorable mark on them. Now, you could have done all the work, but if you have not left an impression, a bias, that you are the best option, they will not pick you. And we wonder why. We do all this work pitching to people, okay, and they're not coming back, or we're not retaining them. Okay. And I know right now I'm kind of talking directly to people in direct sales and things like that, but this content actually still really applies to anybody. Confidence attracts people. If you want to build a great team in direct sales, you yourself have to be confident in what you do. And you have to be consistent, because confidence is also a breeder of consistency. People who are not consistent are not confident. I know that within myself. I know when I'm not confident because I'm not consistent. Now, I can tell you, this is funny. People will tell you, oh, I love my business. I love what I do. But if you're not consistent, you don't love what you do. Literally, because you aren't consistent. I don't care how hard you work. I've seen people pour hours and hours into something, do it once, and then quit. You don't really love it. Now, if you really do love it, you would pick it back up. And excuses do not prevent love. How many people you know have been stupidly in love? Okay. I mean, stupidly. Now we know there's a difference between being, in love, then there's people who are stupidly in love, who will do anything. And what they'll do is no matter they don't even care about excuses. Okay. They don't it doesn't matter what excuse you give them. They will find a way around the excuse. Okay? They will find a way to see their love. Okay. And that's the thing about it. When you really love something, nothing should be able to keep you back from it. If you really love it. That's why when people tell me that they love their business, but then they give me excuses, you don't love your business because you keep on giving excuses for why you will not be consistent. Consistency is a part, okay, of you actually being committed and convicted about what it is that you say that you want. So let's get back to creating bias. Like I said before, you have to create a bias. You have to really believe in your product and be able to tell people what actually separates it. Okay, that's why I can always tell when I go to an event where there's a lot of exhibitors or let's say vendors, and I'll see people who are selling all the same thing, and none of them have created bias. I could be in a room of everyone selling T-shirts. This is a simple example. I'm in a room of vendors, and let's say like the majority of them are T-shirts. The majority of them, they actually believe this is the laziness factor. They believe that if they just set out their T-shirts, that they'll choose us. They'll come to our table. They'll like what it is that we do. And you have never created a bias. How do I create a bias when I'm vending or exhibiting? Well, one of the things that I've shared about, I have a women's girly chic vending video course that I've done that's actually on my courses site. If you go to genesisdorsey.com and click on courses, there's a free vending video I've done. And one of the things I talk about in that video is that if you are going to an event, you should have a team with you whose main job it is to go out and promote while there's people sitting at the table. Most people, when they are promoting their product or service, and especially if they're like vending at an event, they wait until people come to them. You're not creating a bias. You're actually allowing people to do what? To choose. This is big. This is what we're talking about. If you don't create the bias, people will what? See you as what? Optional, right? So if I sit at a table and I'm looking at all the other vendors or exhibitors and we're all sitting behind our tables, guess what we're doing? We are allowing people to choose a bias, to create a bias in their own head. Okay. If we have the ability to jump ahead of that and create a bias, then that's what we should do. So what we should do is we should have a whole bunch of people out there with cards, maybe, with something that says, come to our table, T-shirts, and we're out there. And this is the funny thing. You could be at the smallest event possible. But do you know you can create the most craziest bias that everybody's going to at least come to your table because you're the one who's doing what? Creating a bias. You're putting yourself out there while the rest of people are just sitting behind a table, waiting for someone to come to them. And the thing about it is that you don't just walk your area, go all around. You can go all around the building, pass out, go to everybody. Why? Because guess what? You are now creating a bias that while everyone else is sitting behind the scenes waiting for them to be picked, you're out here saying, I'm not going to wait for someone to pick me. I'm going to go out here. I'm going to pick people myself. Hello, how are you? Hey, we would love for you to visit our table. Going out there. Okay, this is big. Not waiting for anyone to choose you. You create that bias. Okay. Now, let's say I'm on the telephone. And I'm talking to a potential client, customer, and I would like to sell my product to them. Remember that, and I'm talking about this in one of my sales videos, is that you must first hear the concern. It's impossible to sell, especially services, if you don't know their needs. This is really big. This is why a lot of people miss money, because you aren't selling anything to them that is specialized for them. So they don't really feel like you are the best pick because you haven't been specific enough to their options, right? So when I'm selling services, people don't pick you. This is really big. Sometimes we feel like we're doing great because people have picked us. But a lot of times, sometimes people not picked you because you were the best. It was just that you were an option. I know that may hurt some people's feelings, but welcome to the world. So you have to realize that, and I know this for myself, a lot of times, I was stupid enough to think that people would pick me because I was like the best, like I'm the best of the creme de la creme. No, sometimes people pick you because they had 20 options, they just ended up picking you. Now that's great, and we thank God for that. But what we want to focus more on is how do we actually create bias, right? How do we create bias in our products and services in our sales, right? So let's say, again, I'm on the phone. Let's say I'm talking to a potential client, customer, and my desire is that I am seen as the best in their eyes, and that there is no bias. I don't want to be in the option pile. That's the biggest thing. You never want, when you're selling a product or service, you never want to be in the option pile. You want to be in the, this is the only decision I'm going with pile. Okay. And the way that you do that is by, especially in service based, understanding a person's problems. Whenever you're obtaining information, let's say it's like a contact form, an inquiry form, let's say you're an MUA, fashion, consultant, grass cutter, web designer, whatever it is that you do. If you're in service-based business, we're going to get to product in a second, but let's say you're in service-based business. You always want to make sure that if you have a website or whatever, that they're filling out a form to let you know why they're in need of your services. You never, ever, ever, ever sell blank. That's the stupidest thing you could do. You know why? Because you'll never know actually how to navigate the conversation. Remember, if I want to not have them put me as an option, I need to come into the game strong. Okay. So even when you're selling, let's say you're even in direct sales, right? And you know that someone may be interested in something that you do, or, let's say you put out one of those classic posts, who wants to make $500 a month? I hate this. I hate that. I hate that post. But anyway. And let's say someone responds, right? You want to know why. You want to know what their desires are, because a lot of times, a lot of people in direct sales too are trying to figure out, why do I have such a high drop-off rate? It's probably because you picked bad team members. This thing, it's better to have a strong team than have a great weak team. Because if you have a strong team, even if it's a smaller team, they can help you get more people versus you have like 100 weak links and they're not helping you to get anybody. Right? So it's important that you realize that not everybody is a good fit for you, but also you need to know why they're joining or why they're interested in your services. So let's say, for instance, bada boom. Let's say I'm calling you on the phone and you have said that you wanted something. Let's say, I'm trying to think of something. You are a speaker. Okay, you're a speaker / consultant and you travel a lot. Or let's say you're a pastor or minister. And so you need something that you can hold in your hands while you teach. You can't really do paper notes anymore. I don't know. You send me, I don't know, you had inquiries. Okay. And you wanted something that you could easily, talk with, and walk around with, and it not be really like a big hindrance, like, you flipping papers, right? Or maybe you didn't want to teach with a laptop anymore. So you want to have a nice light, something that you can use for, as you walk around, right? So let's say, you told me all those things. It's important too, that when you sell, that you let people talk. Okay. I know some of you are just way too prideful, or just, I don't know, maybe you're just too humble. You don't need people to tell you their problems. You already know. But I actually want to know what people's problems are, because otherwise I won't be able to step out as creating a bias. So when I hear people's problems, see, people, the more solution-minded you are, the more people will actually, the more solution-minded that you are, the more people will see you as a great choice. Because remember, people come back to solutions. One-time sales are great, but they aren't continuous, right? And so the moment someone sees you as a form of a solution, they most likely will always come back. Why? Because you solved a problem for them. Okay. And this actually applies to any product. That applies to books. Someone may have read your book, but if they see it as a solution, they'll go out and buy more books for more people or different people, right? Or they'll talk about how that book was such a solution. So when I'm talking about this, I must think about either I already know what a person's problems are and I'm addressing the solution, or I have to present problems that my product solves. Okay, so when you think about what you do, you don't just sell it. You have to sell what? We talk about this all the time if you've been watching me for several years now. We sell what? We sell the solution. We sell the voids that our product fills. So I must have complete confidence, though, in the fact that it can do it. Okay, so if I'm selling this iPad to you, I am selling it. Let's say said before, I'm selling it to the speaker, and I'm going to bring up what they said were some problems. One of the things that I heard that you were talking about was that you were having an issue with basically your freedom while you were speaking. And I really believe that this device is not just going to free up, your hands, but it actually is going to become a great key to your next level of teaching. Well, why do you say that? Well, let me talk to you about some of the features that this iPad can do for you while you teach. Actually, it can connect to your internet devices so that actually as you teach, you can actually bring on slides onto this that you can actually connect to the board. Let me also show you some other features about this device that can also help you to go to your next level. The other thing too is that people aren't just concerned, especially for some services, about just currently. You also want to show how, especially if you have an innovative product, how a product can actually help them to become better, right? So it's not like, for instance, people don't just take vitamins because they need to take vitamins. They're taking vitamins. Why? Because the vitamins, quote unquote, do things for them, okay, to make them sharper, to make them more alert. For instance, I know people who take vitamins because their mind, the vitamins actually makes their mind more alert to do more things, right? So am I selling the fact that these are vitamins, or am I going to sell the fact that these are vitamins that will help you? Do you want a sharper brain? Do you want to be able to produce more during the day? Yes, I do. Right? So here are these vitamins. So, some of you sell things that maybe promote hair growth, right? And you've been saying, oh, guys, buy this product. It's going to help you. Your hair's going to grow more. Your hair's going to grow more. Buy this product. Your hair's going to grow more. Your hair's going to grow more. Your hair's going to grow more. Okay, people are going to get tired of that because, number one, you don't sell excited. And the other thing, too, with that is that people get tired of the same message. So you have to also learn how to diversify the message. When you sell, you must diversify the message. People will get tired of seeing the same statuses posted every day. Okay. Now, it may be about the same thing, but it can't be the same exact message. In other words, I can't say, oh, buy my book. Oh, buy my book. Oh, buy my book. Oh, buy my book. Like, that's not going to do anything. So when you're selling, okay, so let's go over our notes with sales. The first thing is that I must create a bias. Okay, you have to create a bias. Whether you are a consultant, an author, a pastor, yes, create a bias, okay? And again, we're not talking about where we're pitting ourselves against people. What we're saying is that we are showing people what we do and why it's so amazing. The confidence factor in sales is so key. Whether I'm in sales, whether I'm a consultant, whether I am a grass cutter, whether I am a product creator, I must be confident in me creating biases. As we said before, you got to be Jim Jones with it. You got to be Jim Jones. You've got to believe in your own Kool-Aid. Now, again, we're not saying that it's poisonous Kool-Aid, okay? But you've got to really believe in your product. I've seen so many people, especially authors, write books. I was talking to a pastor a couple days ago, wrote a book 2 years ago, and he still isn't promoting it. I'm like, why aren't you promoting? Oh, well, I'm working on another one. Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know that you can only sell a book for a year, and then you just stop it because you write another one. No, that book is a product. Products don't stop. A key example is one of my favorite books, which is The Bait of Satan by John Bevere. I've talked about this so many times. The Bait of Satan by John Bevere. That book has sold so many copies, okay? He's not done selling it. Matter of fact, he turned it into an online course. Okay, so you don't just stop a product. If that product was good, you keep on talking about it. And the fact that people don't talk about a product shows that you have either lost confidence in the product, because remember, if you don't talk about it, you have lost your confidence. It's just like faith. If you don't talk about something that you desire, you have lost your faith in it. Why? Because whatever I believe, I'm going to confess, right? So just like it is in the spiritual, same thing in the natural with sales. This is why I tell people in business, you are an evangelist. Now, we know in the faith, in the Christian faith, that you as an evangelist, your job is to spread the gospel, right? The good news. Well, just like in business, do you know that in the business world, there are people who are actually called brand evangelists? Like literally, like that's the term. And you know where they got that word from. The church, amen. But the point is that they're actually called brand evangelists, and their job is to spread the good news about their product. Well, guess what? You are a brand evangelist. If you are a pastor, you are an evangelist, not just for souls, but for your church. You are to spread the good news about what? About your brand, about what it is that you've established. So you've got to actually believe in your brand and in what you're doing. So let's talk about some things that we've covered, and then we're gonna end, okay? Because we're pretty much done. What we've talked about today in false humility in business and how to really be a great salesperson. The first thing is get the false humility out the way. Stop saying things like, oh, you mean like this little book, or this little thing I just created. It's don't call it little, please. That is such an offensive word to a God that's giving you an idea to do something absolutely phenomenal. It's offensive. It's offensive to actually talk against your brain and what it's created. Please don't talk like that. That's actually lacking faith. Oh, ye of little faith. Okay. So I want you to get your faith up to actually believe in what you created. Okay. The second thing is that you must create a bias. We have to be Jim Jones. You've got to believe in your own Kool-Aid. If I don't believe in a product, I won't sell it. And anyone who tells me that they believe in something but don't promote it is someone who does not believe in it. Whether this offends you or not, I'm sorry. I'm a thick girl. So if I step on your toes, listen, excuse me. I didn't mean to do it, but hey, what can I say? So you have to realize that your lack of promotion is not because, oh, I don't have the time. Oh, things have gotten busy. Oh, I have 100 things to promote. How can I remember that? You don't have 100 things to promote. That's the first thing. So your lack of promotion equates to your lack of confidence. I want you to get your self-esteem up, because if you produce something, it could be from 2 years ago, 5 years ago. Don't stop promoting. There's money in that. And a lot of you are missing it. A lot of you are saying, oh God, send forth resources, send forth income, send forth, and just like the prophet that came in 2 Kings 4, and the lady, all she had was a little jar of oil. Listen, God multiplies a little. So you may only have 2 books written. Promote the heck out of those things, okay? You may only have a few products and services. Promote them. Your lack of confidence is blocking up your money. But remember, it's not just in selling, because the next thing we talk about, like I said before, is creating the bias. You can't just sell something and think it's going to sell. That right there is not going to do well for you. Whenever you sell, you must create a bias. Just like I said, 2 Christians can open up 2 bakeries across the street. If I say to myself, this is the false humility, there's no competition in Christ. God shall supply all my needs. Okay. Meanwhile, the bakery across the street is awesome in their branding and their delivery. Meanwhile, you're over here with paper mache menus, and you're using paper. I can't even say it, because when I think about it, it's so funny, because so many Christians, they say this. They say there's no competition in Christ. And while that's true, while God will protect your business, it's just hilarious on how people are ignorant, and not stepping up their game, because they really believe that God is going to draw, the customers in the door, and you don't have to do anything. You don't have to brand yourself. You don't have to step up your game. You don't have to have any signage outside of your store. All you got to do is put up a little 8x11 printer paper that says bakery, and God's going to just draw them in. Oh my gosh, no, you need to get some banners, some signage, some great brochures, some awesome decorations in the store. It needs to look good, because guess what? People will create their own bias. If I walk into a McDonald's and it looks ran down, okay? Have you ever been to a McDonald's and the ice cream machine never works? Do you know that after a while, if that ice cream machine keeps on breaking down, okay, you want ice cream, you probably won't go to that location anymore. You're probably going to go to another location, right? Now, the thing about it is that even in the franchise business, okay, there's still competition in a sense, because there are many locations you can go to, and especially if they're independently owned, or where basically, they're independently owned, I have choices, right? So why should I go to one McDonald's over another? Do you know that after a while, people will even begin picking biases, even in franchise situations, right? Even in franchise situations, especially if they're independently owned franchises. Okay, people will begin to have their favorite Chick-fil-A. People will begin to have their favorite McDonald's. People will begin to have their favorite whatever it may be. So I must realize that bias does exist, and I must work hard on separating the bias. Okay. The last thing that we talked about, that we're about to end with products and with sales, and we talked about direct sales and pipelines and developing a team. You must have a contagious energy. Contagious energy is what helps people grow teams, pipelines, sales teams. It's what helps them grow. You must have a contagious bias. When I look at people, especially in MLM, I know I'm spending a lot of time in MLM direct sales, but it's just because I just see so many issues in it as far as marketing and getting people to sign up and retention. I've coached way too many people to see the issues. But you have to realize that so many people are not retaining people, or not keeping people, or not getting people, or not getting customers, whatever it may be, because you aren't contagious. You still treat it as optional, right? If you treat it like it's a side hustle, people see it as a side hustle. I can't tell you the other people I see online who are MLM sales, who have products, and they're like, oh, yeah, this is my side hustle that I started picking, and it's helped me make great money. So you would love to have a side hustle too. Hey, join my team so we can have great side hustles. No one joins side hustles, or at least stays with side hustles. People follow a movement that has life and growth and excitement. Okay. So even if it's your side hustle, don't tell the people that, because people don't really care about your side hustle. They want to know, how do I win? How do I make more money? How do I increase my chances for my life? People are not caring. People want to know, okay, how is this going to excite my life? When it's exciting, people jump on it. People are natural bandwagoners. Whether you want to go with it or not, it is a natural fact. It's a natural fact. People are bandwagoners. They're bandwagoners because people also have the ability to choose. So when they choose you, don't, this is why people say, oh, you look at someone else's brand who's really taken off. People do this in churches too. This is really big. I'm gonna talk about this. It's really big. I've seen a lot of pastors, right, where they will talk about someone else's church that maybe has blown up overnight. And let me tell you this, no church has really blown up overnight. No church has blown up overnight. It does take time. It takes a lot of different layers and elements. Of course, it takes God's growth, but no church actually blows up the next day, okay? So a lot of pastors will look at you and say, yeah, people just bandwagon, because their church is growing, right? Because their church is growing. So they'll say, oh, people just bandwagon. People just go on their church. There's nothing to it. No. This is big. No one just randomly picks a church or randomly picks a business to just go off. There was something exciting. Now, you may call it Kool-Aid, you may call it a cult, whatever it may be. But I have learned, even, this is big, even if they're preaching a false doctrine, right? We may say, oh, it's just a whole bunch of emotionalism. That's why they're going. A lot of times, I'm going to tell you really what it is. It's excitement. People look alive. When people look at your church and the folk look dead, no one's talking about the church. No one's celebrating the church. No one's talking about it. People aren't going to go there. People are just not going to go there. And it's funny on how in the business world, they understand evangelism sometimes more than some churches do. Because people want to join living things. We are living beings. We want to join living things. And we have to learn how to show the life of what it is that we do. This is a very biblical principle, but it is applied in the world. And a lot of times, like I said before, they do it better than we do. Okay, you have to show forth life. People follow living things. I'm not going to follow something that looks dead, looks dry, looks shriveled up. I'm going to follow life. So as we end, I really want you to think about this when it comes to your team, your business, whatever it is that you're doing. How are you going to bring life? You may already say, we have a great company, we have a great ministry, we have a great business, we have a great platform. Yes, but is that being communicated? Is that being shown to other people? How can I tell that there is an excitement? Can I actually see it? So you have to figure out, how do we translate that? How do we translate that through our messaging, through our copy, through our website? How do we translate that through our videos? How do we translate that through our events and things that we do? This is why a lot of times people, they'll come to events that you may host and you'll never see them again, because while you may thought it had life, it didn't actually have enough life. So you've got to figure out, how am I going to do this? So let's end with homework, because I'm done. So I'm going to give you guys some homework, as I always do. I always like to give homework so that you can leave, with this video with some things to actually implement. Literally, my whole desire for people is to win. And I don't need you. You don't have to pay me to win. Okay, I'll give you free tips and knowledge. Okay, because I do stack my points. But I'm going to give you this free tips to help you win. I want you to do these things the next couple of days and weeks. Now, before we get into this, you do need to make a plan of time. This is big, because you'll never execute if you actually don't make time to execute. So you're definitely going to need to carve out, I would say, maybe 2 to 3 hours, and just to do the brainstorming. Okay. And then after that, you can do the execution. But you got to first brainstorm. You never just sit down and just say, okay, I'm going to knock this out. That's not how it works. So we need to first sit down. And the first thing you want to do, I'm just writing this down just to help you out, is we want to do a brain dump. Okay. That's the first session that you need to do with yourself for basically getting back to selling amazingly. Okay. You need to do a brain dump. You gotta dump all of the ideas about how you can sell the book, sell the course, product, or services. And the second thing you gotta do, and you know what? I've got to finish this. I did a book. I need to get that book out. It's a small resource I created, and I'm gonna get it out for y'all. I gotta go back I gotta get that off the back burner. That's one of the things I gotta get back. So guess what I'm gonna have to do? I'm gonna have to do just what you guys are doing, because I need to sell this. So you have to first do a brain dump. If you've created a product or service that is not selling at the capabilities that you want it to sell, the first thing you need to do is do a brain dump, okay, of realizing what are the products or services that I need to get back to focusing on. Okay. The other thing that I need to do after do that is that I need to figure out my sales channels. And I have a resource that I'm going to get for you guys and finish for you. But we talked about this. You need to figure out the sales channels in which you're going to sell it. Now, there are different sales channels. Again, I have a book that goes all over this, but there are different sales channels. So you have to figure out, what sales channels am I doing? Is it social media? Okay. Is it my website or a platform? Okay, now, guys, this is real knowledge. So I pray you're writing this stuff down. My God. Social media, okay, in-person sales. So that may be vending, and then also to speaking / events. There's a difference between vending and then actually being a speaker at an event. And you want to put those in two different channels, because there will be events where you're just vending, and there'll be events where you are just focusing on being a speaker, but you may have a vendor table or you'll be speaking. Okay. So social media, website or platform, in-person, speaker or events. Okay. The other thing is sales calls. Yes. Any person can do sales calls. Anyone. You could be a speaker that sells books. And let's say, I want to spend time maybe pitching to churches or different organization for them to use these books. Now, this is very important. Based upon the sales channels, you need to know what people need. Because if I'm going to pitch to organizations who may purchase my book at mass, I need to think about, what do they need? A lot of times when you pitch to churches or ministries, they're going to need things like study guides to go with them, some kind of group leader discussions. So that's what, okay, well, that goes back to the brain dump. Okay, maybe I need to sit down, and I may need to create an additional product with that then, so that when I pitch to that particular channel, I'll have a better outcome. Okay, remember, you want to have maximum outcomes. Okay, these are the different sales channels. So these are just some. Again, I have a book that's going to really go through all of them, but this is just a thing. So the first thing is brain dumping. The second thing is, where are the channels that I'm going to dump these things out to, as far as the marketing and product or service, whatever it may be. Once I figure out the channels, I then need to come out with a 30-day plan. Okay. You never want to brain dump, think about your channels, and then, say, okay, well, I'll get it done someday. No, the first thing I'm going to do is put myself into a 30-day execution plan. If you're going to win, you've got to execute. Okay. So we're going to go into a 30-day execution plan with this. Okay. So let's go back through this. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to brain dump. Okay, the second thing we're going to do is we're going to look at our sales channels. Sales channels can include sales calls, social media, website and platform, in-person sales, speaker or events, whatever it may be. If you go anywhere, this is really big. If you have a product or a service, always carry business cards. I don't care if people say, oh, they're so outdated. I don't give a hoot. They may throw it away, but at least let them get the information on and put it in their phone, and then they can throw it away. Okay. But I always carry business cards. If you sell books, products, CDs, whatever it may be, even though CDs are now non-existent, so I really don't suggest you carry CDs around anymore. But let's say we're doing business cards, and maybe you have books or products, whatever. Always carry them in your car or a sample when you travel. Never ever. This is really big. Let me tell you something. If you are crazy, if you're going to be Jim Jones, I need to do a course called just Jim Jones. It's really hilarious. But if you're going to really sell your Kool-Aid, you've got to believe in that Kool-Aid, which means that you should not be that person that is always walking around and never having anything about your brand on you. You should have business cards. You should have, if you have a book, always have a copy in your backpack or, in your purse. I always carry around something that belongs to me. I could be at the coffee shop. I could be at Wawa. And if someone says, oh, what do you do? I'm not going to say, oh, take my number down. No, here's my business card. Here's my business card. Okay. So I'm always selling, because I want to be that person that's seen as, oh, that's Gigi. Oh, that's Genesis Dorsey, right? I always want to be that person because I want to create bias. Okay. I want to be that person that creates bias. So brain dump. Okay. If you're just joining us, again, what we're talking about is, how do you actually sell what it is that you're doing? How do you have the confidence to actually executing your sales? So what we're doing right now as we're ending, we're talking about our homework. And what we're talking about with the brain dump is we simply are asking, what I'm asking you to do is, let's take a general collection of all your gifts, talents, your businesses, whatever it is that you sell or produce. Okay. And I want you to first do is do a brain dump to figure out what you need to work on these next couple of months. Okay, right now we're in quarter 4, about to go into quarter 1 for 2019. So we need to figure out what are going to be our key focus products or services that we want to promote. Okay, or it may be a movement that you want to promote. If you are an MLM or direct sales, you never promote just a product. That's how you lose. The real game and money in any direct sales company or in any MLM is the team building. I don't care what anyone tells you. I don't care if I tell you you'll get rich by selling product. You don't. You get money by building the teams. So you actually are not selling product. You actually are selling a movement. So your actual homework will be, if you're in direct sales or MLM, your actual main job will be to sell a community, a movement of some kind that is branded. Okay, so that people don't feel like they're just joining a company that has different teams, but they're joining something that they've never seen before. That's how you win. So you actually will be building a movement. Okay, but if I'm selling a product or service, I'm focusing on that as well. The next thing we do, like we said before, is figure out your sales channels. You want to hit as many sales channels as possible. You never focus on just one sales channel. You got to figure out where, because a lot of times you won't really know until you try, right? So you want to be in every arena. You want to be at the networking events. You want to be on social media. You want to be using your website. The other sales channel that is very important is email marketing. And I'm gonna get my I'm gonna get my book finished so I can get that to you guys. But email marketing is huge, so huge. It creates a database for you. So you want to make sure you have an email list. The next thing, our third thing for homework, is to create a 30-day plan of execution. 30-day plan of execution. The reason why you need a 30-day plan, like I said before, is you do not want to give yourself an excuse to not do. Okay, we execute at all times. Okay, so we're gonna do a 30-day plan of execution like Jackie. Jackie has a $500 Christmas challenge coming up where she's gonna be helping people learn how to earn a minimum of $500 for the holiday season, okay, which I'm so excited about, okay? And so like what she's working on now is that's actually what she's doing. She's building her plan to promote her $500 Christmas challenge to help people have more money for the holiday season, okay? So her homework will be to come up with an execution plan, right? According to this, come up with an execution plan, figure out what her sales channels will be to promote that. Maybe for you, if let's say you have a book or service that you really want to get back to doing, but you have not been doing consistently, you can apply this homework to that one product or service, right? So you may say, you know what, I really want to get back to promoting, creating these products, maybe creating hand baskets. I don't even know what a hand basket is. I made that word up. Or maybe, I want to get back to promoting doing websites, or I want to get back to promoting da-da-da. What I will say is try promoting just one thing for 30 days and see what happens with that. See what happens with that. Try promoting just one product or service for 30 days. Now, you can still promote other things, but I'm talking about consistently. Let's try promoting one thing for 30 days. That's a good challenge. I think that's a good challenge. Should I create that challenge? Maybe I should create that challenge. The 30-day sales challenge. Maybe I'm going to just write this down. Just an idea. And I'm going to, of course, have to go with this other resource that I have to finish. Okay. But you have to see this thing. A lot of people are not consistent. See, so if you fall off before 30 days, you don't really believe in your product. So I think I'm gonna create that product. I'm gonna create that challenge because I'm telling you, if you can't promote something straight for 30 days, you don't need to promote it at all. You don't need to promote it at all. Okay, because you don't want to be consistent. And business is about being consistent. Okay, I've learned that personally. So I'm going to make sure that we do this 30-day sales challenge just to make sure that you guys are building up consistency in your business. Okay, so I'm going to put a star by that. Now, when do you guys want this challenge? I'm thinking immediately because I already have a lot of things going on. I have 2 teachings I'm doing. But those are pre-recorded. So we're going to start it in November. So we'll start it, let's look at the calendar. Okay, so what you can do now in advance is get the homework done. So that means that by the time we come to 30-day plan, you should be able to execute on this for your business. So we'll start it. Okay, let's see. Do you guys want to start November the 1st? That will be a Thursday. That's November the 1st. And if you do, just let me know. That means we'll be starting in approximately 2 weeks. 2 weeks. We'll start the sales challenge. And it will be how many days are in November? 30 days. Oh, perfect. Okay, so it will actually be a 30-day sales challenge. Look at that. Look at that. And so what your homework will be is for those 30 days, you're going to pick one product or service to promote. And you're going to have to promote them, okay, in all sales channels. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it to where it has to be all sales channels because that's going to force you to diversify how you sell. I think that's important. I think that's important. Because a lot of times, a lot of you are really good at social media, but you're not good at selling in person. I think we need to make sure that you are good at all sales channels. All of them. Okay. You need to be just as good on social media as you are in person, just as good as you are in person on sales calls, just as good as you are with sales calls and speaking, which means that, oh, you know what that means? That means that in November, you have to find at least one vendor event and you have to find at least one speaker event. Now that's going to be really good for some of y'all because some of y'all have never spoken at anything. So you need to find at least one place to speak at. Okay. So one speaker event. Okay. So, and guys, if you're just joining me, sorry I look rough, but yeah, anyway. So according to our challenge, I know we're on YouTube, hey Instagram, hey Facebook. So our sales challenge, 30-day sales challenge will begin on November the 1st. We're going to do them. We're going to have it start on a Thursday, which is the first the day after Halloween. Okay. The challenge will consist of everyday promotion of one service or product in all sales channels. That means that you're also going to have to learn how to diversify how you communicate your products and services, right? So it's one of those things where a lot of times we only know how to talk about our product in one way. Right. And I think this is going to challenge you to talk about your product. You have to find different features, different ways to promote the same product. Right. And I think that's really key because sometimes when we produce something, we only see it in one way. Right. But yes, copywriting. Yes, copywriting. It's key. That's exactly what Jared's talking about, which is exactly what a lot of you guys need to learn. So that's copywriting. It's basically the marketing message, the way that we communicate what is it we sell. And copywriting actually will make or break a product because if people aren't interested, remember we talked about contagious energy? Contagious energy is in words, it's in voice, it's in visuals. So it's one of those things where copywriting is it's the text. Right? But again, it has to sell it. So you have to make sure that the way that you communicate what you are selling is hitting your target market. So the sales channels, okay, I'll make sure I'm saying your name right. Is it Theron or Taryn? Just let me know. But the sales channels that we're going to practice on for you guys for 30 days, I'm going to do it myself because I have a book out now. And I have so many products and roads. So I think I'm just going to, which one should I pick? I'm going to pick Led to Lead. I'm going to pick my new book. Just so that I'm also doing with you guys. So the sales channels that we're going over, and again, I have a resource coming out that will talk about these in depth. Sales channels will include the most popular one right now we know, sharing with the T. Oh, okay. Sharing. Wait, that confused me. Sharing with a T. So it's Taryn. Is it Taryn? I want to think. Is that right, Taryn? Taryn, right? Okay, so social media, right, is really popular. That is a sales channel. Okay, that is a sales channel, social media. Okay, so that's going to be an area where you will need to promote for 30 days. Okay, diversifying your message. That does not mean that we post the same graphic every day. That is horrible. You're going to have to learn how to communicate in different ways. This is actually really good for a lot of you guys. How do you communicate the same product for 30 days without posting the same picture or the same graphic? Right, you have to learn that. So taking different pictures, maybe doing different types of, it may not even be a picture of the product, maybe a picture of people, it may be, a video, right? But we have to learn how to communicate that in different ways. The other one that we're going to do for sales channels is your website or platform. If you do not have a website, then we're going to make sure that you have an email listing. The purpose, though, is that you have to have, social media is not an end all. Social media actually is a funnel to an end destination. To me, even a website is not an end destination. Technically, for me, an end destination is to me a database because a website can shut down, but my database I will forever have. It's going to be information on your users, right? So for me, that's my holy grail is my database. Okay, so even your website or platform, you need to figure out ways to communicate. So that may be blog posts, right? And I'm not going to ask you guys to do a blog post a day. I think that's a lot. But maybe you can do one a week. So I'll make this one not optional, but let's do like, if you have a website, at least one blog post a week. Okay, it's going to be a lot. I know I'm requiring a lot from you, but I think it's going to help you. Jessica asked, everyone on this live gets a free download of the book. I don't know. I'll give you 50% off. Okay, I may do that. at the max. But no, you still got to buy the book. Okay, I still got to buy the book. Maybe I'll give you, I'm not going to do 50%. That's too cheap. That's too expensive. I'll give you 20% off. Yeah. I'll give you 20% off. That's what I'll do. And I'll put the code under this when I get the book out. And it'll I could finish it today. It's almost like half finished. So we'll see. I'm not going to put myself in a box, but it will be ready by November the 1st. Okay? Because it's going to help you in the trading. It will be digital. It will not be hard copy. Okay? So let's go into, so I'm going to do 20% as a gift for y'all watching this. For just y'all watching this, 20% off. But just for this video. So what needs to happen is Jessica's like humor. Jess, I knew it. I was listen. I knew it. Listen, we got it. Jess was like humor. Like, I'm gonna buy your books. Jess. I love you, Jess. Okay. And Pat, listen, Pat. Jess is gonna buy it. Look, Jess is gonna buy it. Okay, so sales channels are social media, website, or platform. The other sales channel is in person. It's in person. So in-person sales, that is also a thing you have to work on. So that will be like a networking event, a vending event, something where you're around people. Okay. Now, sales does not mean that you'll get an instant sale. So let's say I'm in a room with people and, I'm pitching my product. They if I don't have a thing of books or whatever, it may not mean I'm going to get immediate sales. But in my book that I'm going to give you guys, I'm going to talk to you about how you can close deals, because that is a part of what we're also talking about, is closing the deal. Because if I'm in person at a networking event, my next move, of course, is not buy this today, but it will be, hey, let's schedule a meeting and let's talk about how we can, execute what it is that you desire, right? So I may close the deal behind the scenes, but I'm going to first hit that entry point in person, right? So a lot of you are sitting behind a computer and missing out on money that you can get in person by people meeting you. Okay, because why? I can give that infectious energy and light to somebody in person that would want them to work with me, right? So that's good. Okay. Next thing is speaker events. You need to secure some speaker events, and you need to maximize your speaker events. This is the one thing that I have been probably the least consistent in, because for me, a lot of times when I go to speaker events, I've done that false humility thing where I'm like, you know what, I'm going to kind of take a backseat and let kind of everyone else, but no, I have a book out. I'm sorry. I am not going to be backseat with this. So I have a speaking events this month. So I'm going to make sure, like, even I'm going out of town next week, and I'm bringing my book. I'm actually bringing a few copies of my book because I'm going to sell some. I'm selling some bad boys of those books. Okay. The other thing too is that we're going to also make sure that our sales channels include vending events. So I did just touch on that, but that's important. So I want you guys to find at least, this is so big. Marsha, we're about to touch on that. We're about to touch on how to actually do this. So let me kind of recap, because some people are just joining on. So let's just kind of, I know I'm taking a little bit long, but I'm trying to get this homework out. So Marsha, I'm going to answer your question. So like we said before, we're going to promote, starting on November the 1st, we're going to promote a product or service consistently for 30 days. You will find a way to diversify how you communicate that product or service. Okay. Yes, every day, because I don't want you guys to become ashamed. You got to learn how to not be ashamed. Okay. Ashamed of promoting yourself. You got to do it. So here's how we're going to execute. Now, we said the sales channels, where I'm going back over them. Sales channels are social media, website platform, in-person, speaker events or vending, sales calls. So hopefully you have a way that people can, especially if you're in sales or service based, you have a way that people can contact you so that you can get on the phone with them. And I actually, in my book, in my resource I'm going to be selling, it's going to talk about how to capitalize a phone conversation. Okay, how to capitalize a phone conversation, because you have to learn how to close even before you close. Ding, ding, ding. Okay, that's very important. You have to learn how to close before you close. Okay, you have to want them to want you before they even sign the contract or the deal. Now, let's talk about Marsha's question. So, how do I get this done, Gigi? Because you tell us we got to do this, we got to do that, let's do this. How am I going to get this all done? Listen, Marsha, I'm about to ask myself the same question, because I got a life. You got a job, you got family. I don't have any kids, and I'm not. I'm single, so that kind of helps out with time management sometimes, but I also have businesses and things like that. So those are like my other children, my husband. So So how are we going to get this done? So that's a great question. So the biggest thing with this is for some of these platforms, we're going to also use scheduling systems. Okay. So let me get my other sticky note out. So Gigi, how do we have time management? You have to prepare. You have, let's see how long you have. You have 2 weeks starting from tomorrow. You have 2 weeks until the first. Okay. We're going to maximize these 2 weeks. The first thing you're going to do is you need to have a social media scheduling system because, especially with the social media content, there's no way, and none of my clients actually do this, none of my clients physically post all of their content. They don't. That's actually, I'm against that. And if you do that, you are not running your business efficiently because technology is here to be a blessing, not a hindrance. Okay. So we're going to use social media scheduling tools. So what can I use? I can use Buffer, Buffer. I can use Hootsuite. Okay. You can use, if you have a larger platform. Yes, Pat. Listen, pull out the Rolodex. Pull out the Rolodex. Okay. Buffer, Hootsuite. There's so many other ones. Oh my God. There's so Sprout Social. There's so many, but you want to use a scheduling system that will include wherever you have social media. So and that includes LinkedIn. Okay. That includes LinkedIn. Okay. So and LinkedIn is huge for relationships. So if you don't have a LinkedIn and you're not maximizing your LinkedIn, like for me, I'm going to be maximizing my LinkedIn out the wazoo. Okay. And so I was trying to, get my book out, but now that my book is out, then it's time for me to go hard on LinkedIn. So that means I'm publishing quotes, little mini articles. Okay. I'm going to be selling this book. Okay. So you want to use a social media scheduling system. And what you want to do is you want to gather the content for your posts, for whatever, especially for social media, get that done in the next 2 weeks, get your photos together, get all that, and then schedule that stuff from November the 1st to the 30th. That way you aren't online every day trying to figure out a post. We don't do that. We prepare and we organize. So you're going to sit down, you're going to develop your calendar for November. You're going to figure out what you're going to talk about. And the way that you need to first do it is, that's where the brain dump comes in. The first step that we talked about was the brain dump. Okay, brain dump. Figure out your channels, then come up with a 30-day plan. So the first thing is I need a brain dump. I need to get some pen and paper or a Google Doc, and you need to go to your product or service. Some of you actually need to reread your books. You need to go back through your content, whatever it is that you're selling, go back through your services, and you need to figure out what are the features, what are the biases that I can create for people to want to choose me. I've got to find biases. I got to find reasons for why I actually have created something amazing. And I should also figure out what voids in the world does my product or service solve, right? And one of the things that you can do is, for instance, let's say you do web design. Okay, let's say you do web design. Let's say you're creative. Okay, one of the things that you actually can do is you can actually pick an industry to focus on. That's a great way to maximize November. So if I do websites or whatever it may be, maybe I'm going to focus on a particular industry that I'm going to focus on. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to find all of the features and biases that would be pitched to that particular industry. So like, for instance, let's say I am a ghostwriter and I want to focus on pastors and ministers who want to get their books written. So I'm going to spend those 30 days reaching out, connecting to faith-based organizations and faith-based leaders who need to get their books written, right? So I would actually sit down and think about how do my skills help solve problems that pastors, ministers, ministry leaders, speakers would have in publishing their books, right? And so I'm going to come up with all those things. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to create 30 posts for social media. I'm going to find faith-based organizations for each. So this is how we're going to do for those channels, right? So I'm going to focus on, okay, I need to make sure that I'm going to some in-person events where I can bump into more pastors. I'm going to make sure on my LinkedIn, maybe I'm connecting to faith-based organizations. I'm going to make sure that on social media, I am connecting and engaging with maybe more pastors, more platforms like that. Let's say for speaking in events, because I'm a ghostwriter, I'm going to reach out maybe to some faith-based events and see if I can be a speaker to talk about writing or how maybe pastors can get books written in 30 days or less by hiring me as a ghostwriter. And of course, I'm not going to spend my whole speaking engagement on hiring me. I maybe will give an expertise talk on how this industry is changing, on how people can become better authors or authors at a faster rate. Got it? So that's what you can do. So if I am let's say I'm a business consultant, right? I'm not a ghostwriter. I'm just making that up. I'm just kind of giving examples. I'm not a ghostwriter, not at all. But like I said before, this is how you can attack it. So to answer Marsha's question, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to schedule social media content. That actually is going to take the majority of the like kind of tedious moves away. The second thing I'm going to do is I must do some lives. Yes, video is key for social media. And I would like for us to do at least one a week. Okay. At least one. And let's have it be where you pick maybe a highlighted different focus. Okay. Now, how do I make sure that this is all planned and scheduled? You need to have what a lot of us like to call social media calendar, or you could just say a content calendar. I like to call it actually a profit calendar, because in my profit calendar, it doesn't just include social media. It actually includes all of the things that I'm doing on one calendar. So it's pretty much your business calendar. So let's say I'm going to go live every Monday at this particular time. I'm going to have it written out. I'm also going to have all my social media content written out. Okay. We're getting ourselves organized. Okay. And if you're saying, well, how do I devote time to this? Let's do a minimum. If we have 2 weeks until November the 1st, let's at least just set aside an hour a day. Okay. An hour a day. You can't give your business an hour a day. Don't think you should be in business, to be honest. Because remember, being in business is a personal decision. No one forced you to be in business. Okay. So if you have any excuses for why you can't give time, you don't need to be in something like that. Okay. It's like being in a relationship with a person, a romantic relationship, and then always having excuses for why, you can't give time. You don't love that person. Okay. Drop them or leave them, or, because you can't love them. Okay. So, okay, let's do this. Social media scheduling. Okay. And this is the thing about it, that this is light. This is light stuff, y'all. This is light stuff. And if you don't want to do it, hire someone to do it. Hire an assistant. Okay. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to schedule my social media content out. If you devote an hour a day in 2 weeks, that's 14 hours. You can get a lot accomplished, guys, in 14 hours, especially at a minimum of an hour. And if you can give 2 hours, that's 28 hours. Okay. So first, I'm going to schedule my Buffer, Hootsuite, or whatever it is to schedule social media. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out what my lives will be on. Okay. Because we're doing ultimate promotion here. The third thing I have to do is I need to research events. Okay. And people to connect with. Okay. And what you can do is you can devote days to stuff. Like maybe tomorrow, let's say the next 3 days, which that gives us 3 hours minimum. Okay. The 18th, 19th, and 20th, which is Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Let's say for these next 3 days, I'm going to do my brain dump. Actually, one day. Let's say tomorrow for an hour, we're going to do our brain dump. Okay. For a minimum of an hour. Okay. Then let's say on the 19th, which is this Friday, I'm going to do my sales channel to figure out what sales channels I'm going to do. Then the 20th, which is Saturday, I can begin working. Let's say from the 20th to the 24th, for those days, I'm going to begin for those 5 days. Maybe I'm going to work on getting my social media content done. Okay. Then you can plan this out accordingly, but you do need to plan it out. And for me, I like to do it by days, because that makes it so I'm not scatterbrained, right? I'm not just doing random things. I'm going to actually devote it out based upon specific days. Okay. Then let's say the last thing I'm going to do before I jump in November is research events happening in November, things that I need to put myself into with a little bit more networking. Maybe you need to find more industry-based events that you need to go to find more people within your space. However, many times your clients won't always be in your space. A lot of times they're going to be outside your space. So you also want to go to networking events where maybe your target customer is. So let's say, for instance, I am a web designer that's going to focus on selling to sales experts, sales people, or maybe car salesmen. So maybe we'll go to some car shows. Maybe we're going to go to some car events. I don't know, some sales events to figure out, where my target audience is. Because if I know I'm building websites for salespeople, maybe I need to go to where the salespeople go. Okay, you got that? Okie dokie. So I think we've pretty much established it. We are done. Marsha, if you have any extra questions, you can always inbox me. Again, thank you so much for YouTube. Guys, thank you so much. Okay, thank you everyone tuning in. Hello to Facebook and Instagram. So guys, this is our homework. We're going to begin our sales challenge on November the 1st, 2018. It's a 30-day challenge. Okay, I'm going to get my stuff ready for you guys. If you would like to join the challenge, especially if you're on YouTube or I think only on Facebook you can do this. Oh, darn it, because I need a way to mass it. So I'm gonna have the email list done by today for this. So I'm gonna send out the link. The link will be put up on all my platforms: Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook page, Twitter. Okay, and then my email list. Okay, so I'm gonna make sure that everyone gets the link to sign up. Okay, I don't want anyone stressed out. So if you have any questions, inbox me. I may not be able to immediately get to you because I'm at home on my computer does not mean I'm just dialing around. I'm at home because I have to work. Okay, I have to get some stuff done. In other words, I also have to build this stuff up for you guys. So we're gonna do that. If you have a MLM or direct sales team, I'm going to add a separate, I'm not going to add a separate form, but I really want to help people in that area. So I'm going to make sure that I add some extra content for those of you who are building up your own teams. Because I think that's going to be really important because your team needs to understand how to do sales. It's big. And so we'll work on that too. Okay. See you guys later. I have work to do. I have Bible study tonight. So I'm kind of getting ready for that too. So see you guys later. Okay. I'm going to get to work. Bye. See you, Instagram.